everyone, welcome to another exciting edition of Books and Banter, your Medina Library's video blog as to what the experts are reading. I am your host, Eric Lucius, coming to you once again from our guest area now. With me, the expert of experts, Mary Olson, joining us again. And we're just going to chat about a couple books. I think I've read both of mine, or kind of read both of mine. You've read both of yours?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so Mary, I will turn it over to you. What do you got?
Okay, I have what I think is going to be the next great book club book, and it's called Calling Me Home by Julie Kibler. If you liked The Help, this is an absolute no-brainer for you. It takes place on a road trip from Texas to Ohio. A lady named Isabel, who's in her early 90s, 89, 90 years old, needs help getting to a funeral of an old friend. And so she asked her hairdresser, Dory, she's always treated Dory like a daughter. So she asked Dory, can you please take me up to Ohio to this funeral? And as they're making the road trip, Isabel's story comes out, and it turns out that as a young girl, she fell in love with the son of her housekeeper, who happened to be black. And they loved each other, and this is the story of the consequences of their relationship and what happened to them as they grew up and grew older and tried to be in a relationship, and then were pretty much kept from that their whole lives. And at the same time, Dory has her story. Dory has a challenge with her teenage son, and she has a man that she's interested in, but she thinks he's too good to be true. So this pairing is very interesting, and I love the road trip metaphor for finding out about somebody's story is the road trip. And as they get closer and closer to the end, we find out the conclusion of everybody's story. It's just beautiful, beautiful book. 3-tissue ending. I was sobbing at the end of this book, but it's just perfect. A story of courage and strength and conviction, true love. It's just a wonderful book.
Excellent, excellent. Very good.
Oh, do you want me to tell you wine pairing?
Yes,
of
course.
Since it's the perfect book club book, I think the perfect book club wine is Simi Chardonnay, ice cold.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, my first book, I'm going to talk about Constellation of Vital Phenomena, Anthony Marra. I'm going to go about this a circuitous, I think that's the right word, way. I'm going to talk about the wine first. The concept of terroir. Terroir is a French term. There's not really an English translation for it, but terroir encompasses the soil that the grapes grow in. Is it volcanic? Is it limestone? All that good stuff. Encompasses, are the vines planted on a steep hill? Are they planted in the valley? What kind of wind conditions? Do you got rain? Is it dry, sunny? All of that stuff that goes into making a wine, a certain wine. This is a much more developed concept in Europe because they've had hundreds and hundreds of years to find out these exact locations of these vineyards. That's why you see, especially in like Bordeaux region, on one side of the road you have a field that produces a $500 bottle of Bordeaux, and on the other side $250 for a bottle, because they've figured out these differences, and the one side of the road is better. You see it a little bit here in the U.S., Napa Valley versus Sonoma County. There's differences there. To bring it a little bit locally, I promise I'm going to get to the book. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. This is the banter part of the Books and Banter session. Here in Ohio, around Madison, Geneva area, we have the Lake Erie appellation, but within that, there's a sub-appellation, sub-AVA, American Viticultural Area. Pretty sure, you might have to Google me on that one. Called the Grand Valley, or Grand River Valley. There's a handful of wineries, South River, Harpersfield, that produce wines with this label. And I've had the chance to taste most of these, and it doesn't matter if you have a Riesling, a Pinot Grigio, a Cabernet Franc, a Chardonnay, they all kind of have the same undercurrent. And it's the only example I've gotten where you can really kind of taste that specific area. So it's that whole idea of terroir, where you're coming from, where the wine is born, or what it's grown up in. That's what I really, really felt about this book. This is a book, it's set in Chechnya about the mid-2000s during kind of the Civil War and all the strife they have there. And it's really about learning these characters, these people, where they came from, what they're going through. At the heart of it, you have Ahmed, who is a kind of a doctor, and he takes on his friend's daughter. His friend, I'm only about halfway through the book with my classy dollar bill bookmark. So we don't know what's happened to his friend yet, Dhaka. But he's gone. So he takes his daughter, Ahmed takes his daughter to a hospital because he knows the state is after. They took Dhaka away. He knows that they're off after the daughter as well. So he takes her to the hospital where they come across, they meet Sonia, who is a doctor at this very understaffed hospital. It's a Russian national, so there's some why is she helping the Chechens there? There's that kind of interesting angle. And then you just start meeting all these characters. You meet the nurse, who's just like kind of this crotchety and just really angry and just really snarky. I haven't figured out what her backstory is yet. You have a neighborhood friend of Ahmed and Dhaka, who has become an informant for the state and how they have to deal with him, kind of avoid him. This informant's father, who wrote this 4,000-page history of Chechnya, and it keeps on getting parsed down and depending on the communist regime or what regime's in power. It's all about these folks and their backstory, how they came to be where they're at right now, their trials, their triumphs, what they're going through. It's just a wonderful book. So here we go, 2 books into it. I haven't talked anything about anyone murdered, anyone like super grisly or anything. So
it's a rare
yes,
episode.
absolutely, absolutely, a new page in Books and Banter history. This obviously isn't a book if you've seen the episodes, past episodes, something I usually don't read, but I'm really, really enjoying this. Like I said, about halfway through, and just learning about these characters and where they're coming from and why they're at this situation. Like Ann Patchett, I could see, or even Jodi Picoult fans would like this book. As far as a wine, you know, you're probably going to shell out a couple extra dollars, but go get that bottle of Bordeaux, something from like 2009, somewhere in that area. It's an excellent year. That's on the shelves now. You might have to pay $25, $30 just so you can taste. You get a feel that dirt and grit you get a sense of place of where the wine came from. That's what I feel about this book. Your turn.
Awesome. I have Beautiful Ruins by Jess Walter. I only use the phrase audio perfection once or twice when I'm talking about an audiobook, and this is one of them. This is absolutely gifted storytelling, both the writing and the reader who's reading the story, amazing. It's narrated by Eduardo Ballerini, and I looked him up, and he's as easy on the eyes as he is on the voice, on the ears. So this is one of those epic stories that follows a group of people through place and time. It starts off in 1962 in a tiny fishing village on the coast of Italy, and a man and his family run this little tiny hotel. It's nothing much to look at, but he's got big dreams that he's going to make a tennis court on the cliffside and all these kind of things to make this hotel great. Well, an American movie star who's very ill comes to stay at the hotel, and she just wants her peace and quiet. She's not feeling good, and she's going to wait a few days for her friend, the man, to come and meet her there. So Pasquale is the owner's son, and he's taking care of her at the hotel, and she's befriended by him. They strike up a good friendship. They talk honestly about a lot of things, and finally, when the man she's waiting for shows up, she realizes that what she thought about herself and things that she's been told are not true, that she's been deceived for the sake of staying in budget on a Hollywood movie that's being filmed. So 50 years later, we're on a movie lot in Los Angeles, and Pasquale shows up to come find Dee, the actress. So that's where the story kicks off, and it's hilarious at times. It's very witty, very sharp, beautiful description. You feel like you're on the Italian coast. You feel like you're on the movie lot. You really like these people. He's just a wordsmith. Jess Walter is a wordsmith, and the reading of this, Eduardo's command of Italian is very good, and he does a drunken Richard Burton, because Richard Burton makes a big cameo appearance in this novel, and it's hilarious. And it's a wonderful, wonderful book. Wine pick, I had to ask Eric for a wine pick because I don't know anything about Italian wine. Huge, huge red Italian wine that you will just savor and really, really enjoy, like this epic story. Anything made from the Nebbiolo grape, I'm told. Yes. You could spend some money on a Barolo, or you could spend a little less on Barbaresco.
Very good, very good.
Oh,
that's a good tip.
It's incredible, incredible story.
Completely unplanned. This is Jess Walter's short story collection. We Live in Water. This is a book, in fact, I just realized I can't renew it anymore. I've had it since probably February, if not late January. Never read Jess Walter before. It was one of those that I was just going to kind of give up on, but just absolutely fabulous. You're right about he's so lyrical, such a lyricist, I guess. These are all short stories revolving around usually fathers, all in Spokane, Washington, I believe is where he's from, somewhere around that area. Most of them have made bad choices. This isn't going to be a real warm and fuzzy book. It does have the humor. It sounds like you're getting from your book as well. I don't know if it doesn't have that warm, fuzzy feeling to me, because most of these folks have made horrible decisions, and usually affects children and things like that. Just really good, though. Really, obviously, they're short stories, and I mean, the whole book comes in at 170 pages, so they are really short, right to the point. Great characters, got that humor in there. Even got a little bit of a zombie story about training zombies not to eat cats. I mean, just completely off the wall. but just really, really good. I would pair this with a wonderful wine I just had this weekend, the Bonnie Doon from California, well known for their Syrahs and their Rhone blends. They make a Muscat, which is a very nice white, a little bit sweet wine. I don't like sweet wines, I don't like Muscat, but this was excellent. It's 2010, goes for about $7.99, a wonderful little wine. So, my Jess Wallner one. Okay, I think we're good. Just because I kind of pushed this one last time. I just got this today. Nosferatu, Joe Hill. Big old book coming in about 682 pages. So he must have get that from his dad, Stephen King. There's no such thing as a short Stephen. Well, I guess Stephen King has some short books, but not the good ones. So very excited about this one. As I said, just got it today. So if you're not on the waiting list, get on the waiting list. So we're going to be
redefines modern horror. That's
Yes.
what the critics are saying about
Yes,
this.
yeah.
This book.
You're right. So he gets great blurbs. I mean, from all kinds of Michael Carita, a former Writers Live author here at the Medina Library, gives us a wonderful little blurb on the back. So really excited about this guy. All right. Anything else we got?
That's it tonight.
Okay. June 18th. Still take tickets available for Steve Barry's presentation. Columbia, Ohio, in 2 places, down somewhere in South Columbus area and here in Medina. Still tickets. Give us a call. We'll get you set up with that. I think that's it. So thank you, Mary, as always, for being here, and we will see you in the stacks.